Hey guys, I hope you can find me. I am so sorry. This is making me so not happy. Okay, Evan, you had just made a great comment about can we substitute our wording? And absolutely, I can't remember exactly what you said. I am so sorry. It makes me a little flustered when the computer goes down. So, how are we going to use our roadmap? And again, I am so sorry that it completely crashed. So, here we go. Okay, how are we going to use our roadmap or list? I gave you the example of when we are have or when we have attracted a narcissistic relationship and we're recognizing, oh my gosh, this isn't changing and I need to move forward. I need to move in a different direction. I need to make sure that I am not creating for myself a real problem. Hang on just a second, guys, while I check something on this. Sure enough. Thank you, angels. Okay. This is why I love the angels, because even when the computer goes kablooey, they still help me so that it's not a disaster. Okay, so here we go. Using our roadmap or list. As I told you earlier, you've got to be brutally honest, but you cannot use it to shame yourself. It doesn't indicate failure. This is a thing we need to understand more than anything else. Starting over doesn't indicate failure. It does say, okay, I've recognized that I can't go any further than I am going right now in this direction. But that doesn't mean you failed. If anything, the fact that you are wise enough to see that you can't go forward in this direction is truly incredible. So give yourself a huge pat on the back. You are amazing and begin moving forward. Don't be the crab scuttling sideways. And this roadmap is also going to show you what you don't want. Now, if the relationship, the job, the situation, whatever it is that you were interacting with that got you to this dead end has a purpose, it will be one of the purposes will be to show you what you don't want. The other purpose is to help you grow. We must remember that we grow much more in adversity than we do in the peaceful period. Now, I'm not suggesting that we all have lives that are continuously filled with adversity and you just feel bad all of the time. No, I am suggesting that you recognize that you are amazing and that you've done an absolutely amazing job of recognizing what you don't want and of growing. So, after you identify what you don't want from your roadmap, then you immediately follow it with what is desired. The what is desired is so important. It must be from you. You don't want other people to influence you on this. They can help you by offering you suggestions or asking you questions that may help you fine tune. But you do not want to rely on other people. This must be from you. So don't look to others. However, if you're going to look outside yourself, you can look to the angelic community. And the reason you can do that is because your connection with the angelic realm, with the energetic beings that surround all of us, is from within. So you're not going outside of yourself, you're going to your higher connection. Also, anything that you are choosing to put down on this new list that you're creating must support your highest good and be uplifting. You're not going to put any of your Debbie Downer stuff on here. You're going to, it's got to honor you as a person. So, what are you going to include once you get this list and you've created it and you are feeling good about what you have on there? And remember, it might take a little bit of time. You might have to shuffle through and say, I thought I wanted this, but the more I sit with it, the more I realize, no, this is not going to honor me. So here's what you do. First of all, you create an affirmation around what is desired. And your affirmation can be, I am enjoying, and then whatever it is. It can be that simple. Or I am so excited and delighted that I am able to, whatever it is. Keep it simple, keep it easy, keep it uplifting. I always recommend that you do inner work before you try to start something new. The affirmation will support, and affirmations are a wonderful tool. They've always been a wonderful tool, and they'll always be a wonderful tool. However, when you are using an affirmation and you haven't cleared away the darkness or the despair, the trauma, the challenge, or pain from the past situation, it's almost as though you are trying to run water into a bathtub that already has dirty water in it, hoping that the new water will make the water in the bathtub fresh and clean. It's going to happen maybe at some time in the distant future. If you spend the time to do the inner work, to do the healing work. I love the heart healing methodology and technique. For me, it has gotten me so far, and you are welcome to set up a time to talk with me about that. But when you do the heart work, the inner work, those affirmations are going to really grab hold. Now, let me see if I still have on here, if I can still put in the, oh, good. Here is, if you just want some basic support, there is an address to my community, my spiritual community, my heart's desire. And you will have tools and techniques that you can use. You won't work with me unless you sign up for the group coaching, the group counseling, but you will have access to the tools and the techniques. So you should use your affirmations. And as I said, I would do the inner work first. And I really believe the only way that we are going to be successful in this life that is so filled with challenges and so distracting with all of the stuff that's going on around us is by calling on angelic support. So remember, there is absolutely no one that isn't able to call on the angels. You may not know how. You may feel that you don't believe in the angels. You may not think that they're going to listen to you or that your prayers are going to be answered. But here's the truth: every prayer is heard and every prayer is answered. The angels are direct messengers for the divine, so they can only bring you messages of hope and love and joy. But because they occupy that higher vantage point, they can see how to lead you out of the darkness into the light more easily than you can see it from where you're sitting. So take the time. Remember, we're not band-aiding across things and just letting that wound become infected. Take the time to acknowledge the pain. That was your roadmap. Ouch, ouch, ouch. This is how I got here. This is what I don't want. This is what didn't work. Acknowledge the pain. and create, clear, and replace it with unconditional love and acceptance. Don't run don't run clean bath water into your dirty bathtub and think you're actually going to get the result that you want. But through it all, no condemnation, no criticism, and no shaming or blaming. You are doing magnificent work by recognizing where you are. Don't destroy it by trying to shame yourself with silliness. It's just not necessary. The roadmap shows what led you into the darkness. So it's giving you a way out. Shame just keeps you stuck in darkness. Shame just keeps you lost. So shame is going to lead you into the darkness and keep you stuck. Angelic assistance will lead you into the light and help you stay free. Now, let's go back to our example of the narcissist and I had empath on this side, empath and the narcissist to understand how growth might have occurred and why the empath who has done the work to ascend is no longer going to attract a narcissist once they free themselves from that initial relationship. Now, if you have not done the work, if you are still in the same place, you are likely to keep going, traveling the same road. It might have different scenery. It will probably have different people and different experiences. But if you haven't done the inner work, it's likely that you're just going to encounter the same things under a different disguise. I can't come up with a better word. So here we go. The empath who loves to give is lonely. The narcissist needs constant attention. Well, that's kind of like glue. Oh gosh, empath says to narcissist, I'm lonely. I haven't really been able to feel good about myself, so I don't have a great relationship with anyone right now. And you're so needy. Let me just be your everything. Be your everything for you first before you try to be anything for anyone else. Now, perhaps the empath is fearful because when you're not feeling very good about yourself, fear is a good grabs hold of your hand and doesn't like to let go. Well, the narcissist who is busy pretending that they are really full of confidence is going to look to the empath as though they are really courageous and they're a wonderful protector. Unfortunately, for the narcissist, it's all a mask. So for the empath, you are joining two fear beings, and it's really going to cause quite an explosion of pain. That empath may also be self loathing, not able to voice loving thoughts to yourself or to look in the mirror and be kind and loving. And the narcissist likes to control people and to boost themselves up by insulting others. So we have this self loathing empath, and then we have the narcissist who believes that they are gaining value by insulting others. And again, oh, look at that. We have a perfect match. How about self criticism? The empath who hasn't done the inner work can often be self critical. Look at all the things that I've done wrong today. And the narcissist who likes to build themselves up by putting others down may be happy to add to that self critical thought. Now, remember, the empath thought that they were getting somebody who was courageous and strong and brave and was going to really love them and lift them up. So when they get stuck with this thing that doesn't quite mesh, it can be difficult to figure out how to get out. So, what can the angelic realm do to help you get out and stay out? Well, you've got to remember you can have this or that. So you can have self love or you can have self hatred, but you cannot have both. If you try to have both, then you become that lukewarm energy that Jesus said, I'll spew you out of my mouth. You've got to decide, are you going to be self loving the majority of the time? I know we all slip from time to time. That's okay. You get back in this lane as quickly as you can. Or are you going to be self hating? Well, if you're going to be self hating, you're going to keep attracting people that want to put you down. So you decide. The this that you can get from the angelic realm is love, joy, and peace. This includes empowerment, transformation, and ultimately a life that feels good, a life of freedom. The that you're going to get if you don't do the work to clear and heal from the pain and trauma and abuse that you may have experienced is self hatred, fear. You'll feel lost, confused, and over obligated. Now, I know it is possible for each one of you to climb out of this place, but I also know what it feels like to be in that place. And I'm going to encourage you to call on your angelic support. And in just a moment, I'm going to share with you the champion angel that will really help you. I understand this is difficult, but I also believe in you. So be self loving enough to give up the self sabotage. Stop judging, stop criticizing, and stop complaining. When you see that you are engaging in this, if you're in my community, the My Heart's Desire community, you know how to set an angel alarm. The angel alarm will alert you when you are not paying attention and you've started complaining or blaming yourself or criticizing yourself. And that's the easiest way to stop it. However, you can always work on becoming more alert and really being present to what you are saying, thinking, and doing so that the words that you allow to come out of your mouth and the thoughts that go through your mind are uplifting and supportive instead of damaging and pushing you down. You're going to need to accept yourself as you are. Now, this can also be challenging if you feel like, oh, but I'm nothing and nobody. Okay, I hear that's where you are in this moment. I'm going to ask you to accept and love yourself anyway. Find one good thing about yourself that you can focus on. One good thing that will make you feel proud of who you are, and hold that in your heart. You got to move away from what's wrong, because if you concentrate on what's wrong, you're going to get more what's wrong. I want you to compliment yourself. I want you to focus on what you're doing right. Just be a general cheerleader for yourself and ask the angels to help you focus on what's right and to help you see when things are going well. And that gold coin miracle that I shared earlier is the key to really make this happen. That and the angel alarm. Now, this is not going to happen overnight. If you have been practicing for years and years and years, looking at what you're doing wrong, saying all of the things that are wrong about you, you're going to need some time to adjust. So commit to this practice for at least 30 days. I would say commit to it for 6 months. But you know what? Let's set small goals. Commit to 1 month. 1 month goes very quickly, but for 1 month, commit that you're going to pay attention to how you are speaking to yourself. You are going to be aware of where you're putting your focus, and you're going to make sure that the thoughts that you are allowing to run through your head are positive in nature. Yay, yes, serious. I tell you, you were right about the Mercury retrograde. It started off crazy and it's we're doing it though. See, now here's a perfect example of starting over. We're talking about starting over. What do? You just say, "Okay, what can I do?" Well, start over. Start over. Stay in your high place. Make the best of where you are and don't engage in criticism. I do not understand computers or how they work. I don't control them. All I can do is start the stream over and be grateful that it worked this time. So, of course, we have a wonderful helper that I want to introduce you to. And always, when you are working with the energetic realm or the angelic realm, you can be very specific and call on one particular angelic presence or a group of angels that you happen to know their name and what they do, or you can be general and just say, "Oh, please help me." Remember, every prayer is heard, every prayer is answered. Your desires are not some random thing that somehow materializes out of nowhere to torment you. Your desires are planted in your heart by the divine because this is something that you are able to achieve. It may mean that you have to stretch. It may mean that you have to start over, but it definitely means that you have the ability to move into this new place. So, who can help us? Archangel Metatron. He is the angel of presence. And it is so important that we stay present. He is one of two angels, archangels, who were originally human. And that gives him a unique perspective in which he can help us. The other angel, who is his twin brother, who was also human, is Archangel Sandalphon. But Archangel Metatron was the scholar Enoch. And while he was in his human form, he was so focused on his divine connection that he was able to walk with God and to receive wonderful insight and information from God. So he, when it came time for him to transition, he retained his God given purity throughout his life and then was taken up into heaven and transformed into archangel status because of his extreme devotion to his alignment. So if you are wondering, gosh, is it doing me any good to work so hard on staying in alignment with the divine? It worked so well for Enoch that he was taken up into heaven and is now holding archangel status. And he is, as I said, the angel of presence because he was able to focus so clearly on his divine connection. So, how can Archangel Metatron help you? Well, first of all, he was skilled and honest upon earth. So you know you're only going to get the truth when you are working with Archangel Metatron. Oh, Audrey, thank you. You are a gift. You are truly a gift. And thank you all for coming over. As I said, all I can do is start over. Can't figure out the computer. So, because he was so skilled and honest upon earth, he has become the keeper of the Akashic records. Now, if you're not familiar with what the Akashic records are, they are just a record of everything that you engaged in during your lifetime. And that's what is used when you go for your life review. However, if you have either heard the accounts of people who have crossed over and come back, or people who have crossed over and are still in their energetic state, they will tell you that the Akashic records are never used to shame or blame. They are merely used to inform. They are a roadmap. So if you are looking at starting over, beginning a new life, you've transitioned out of this one, you'll want to know, first of all, what it is that you want to keep. How'd I get to this place where I'm feeling really good or really bad? And what do I want to take forward? What are the desires that I have moving forward? What did I learn? What do I need to let go of? And what do I want to hold on to? So he's going to help you by showing you an honest account of your journey to this place and help you set really meaningful and manageable goals moving forward. Because sometimes we can set a goal that is so distant that we get lost trying to get there. So we want to make sure that we keep our goals in our starting over journey realistic and manageable, but also challenging. So we're all adults. Unless you've had an accident, you know how to walk. It is not a good thing to put on your list. Gosh, I want to learn how to walk. You already know how to do that. Don't go backward. Choose something new that you can do that you can feel good about. So, something that you could put on your new list, your moving forward list, is every day I would like to find something that I love about myself and compliment myself on it. Say to myself, huh, I love you. I love this thing about you. I'm so proud of you. Something along those lines. That can be a challenge if you're just starting, but it is so beneficial and it will have such beautiful um, capacity to open you up to wonderful happenings. So ask Archangel Metatron to help you remember to do something valuable for yourself every day. He is also your intermediary between heaven and earth. Remember, he was human once, so he understands where you are and he understands where he is now. And because he does, he is absolutely magnificent at helping you create a foundation. One of the things that happens when we're starting over is we feel as though we don't know where to begin. Gosh, I've got to start over. Where's the beginning point? Archangel Metatron will be a wonderful helper in helping you to see where your beginning point is. As always, I'm going to advise that you don't make your beginning point too far away from where you're ending. So let's say, again, using the example of the empath and the narcissistic relationship, you're looking at this relationship that has become unrecognizable, it doesn't fit together anymore, and you've separated. Okay, so now you need to begin. Well, don't begin looking for a new relationship. Begin just where you are, learning to love you. That's a little step. That doesn't require anyone else or anyone else's participation, but it is something that is going to really be impactful forever in your life. So, With the help of Archangel Metatron, you're going to build the foundation, a foundation that is strong, but it's going to be composed of smaller steps until you are strong enough to take bigger steps. He is a creative energy. So expect that you're going to have a lot of ideas when he is present. His energy is strong and it is highly focused. Now, again, remember I told you about that gold coin miracle technique. Archangel Metatron was the one that gifted us with that technique. He and Jesus was the inspiration because I used one of the parables, but Archangel Metatron was really the crafter of this technique. Things that he can help you with are to help you overcome procrastination. So often, when we are starting over, we feel that dread of what do we do next? What do you do next? You take the next small step that's going to make you feel good. So, here I'm going to advise daily meditation, daily walks outside of your house. Get out of the four walls. Interact with others if you're comfortable. If not, interact with the angelic community. But get looking at the bounty and the perfection that is all around you. He will help you take bold steps forward, but bold doesn't mean gigantic. Bold means you are taking actionable steps that feel good, that are moving you in the direction that is for your highest good, and not moving you backward into the darkness. And Archangel Metatron understands, remember, he was human, he understands why situations occur. So he's going to help you with your motivation, what got you onto this path in the first place. And the other side of that is overcoming fear. Sometimes we stay stuck in situations that aren't working because we're afraid of what's coming. Well, I know this situation, and even though it's not great, at least it's familiar. Well, Archangel Metatron will help you feel safe moving into an unfamiliar situation that is more appropriate for you and serves your highest good. And all and while he is doing all of this, he's giving you that really strong foundation that means you're going to feel safe and secure. None of us are capable of doing something when we feel like we're walking on shifting sand or on marbles or when everything is constantly changing. So you can depend on Archangel Metatron to make things easier for you in terms of helping you to have a solid foundation that you can count on instead of, oh my gosh, I don't know what tomorrow is going to bring. And you're going to be able to get that by um, connecting. And I'm going to tell you, I think you're just going to have to commit to a daily meditation practice. I can't think of a better way to connect with the angelic realm. Now, again, meditation doesn't mean sitting still. You can do a walking meditation. You can find different ways to connect, but it can't be a hit or miss thing. You're going to have a regular practice. So, as part of your starting over agenda, include spending time with the divine. And for me, the divine include the entire angelic realm. So, as I said before, guys, I'm getting ready to record this gold coin miracle technique. And if you are searching for a way to stay focused, for something that will keep you on purpose and on point and not distracted, really looking at what's right, this is going to help you. So the address is in the chat. All are welcome. And just treat yourself to angelic support. Thank you, all of you who managed to find me. If this ever happens in the future, just know that check YouTube again or however they give you a notification. I will restart as soon as I can get my computer functioning or the internet functioning or whatever it is that went wrong. So, thank you for sticking with me and for your patience and for starting over with me. Next week, we're going to look at what do you do when you've been rejected? It's a lot like starting over in terms of similar energy, but when you've been rejected, ooh, now you got to deal with all of that pain. It's not that something can't go any further. You got a hard kick in the behind, and we're asked to leave. So we're going to look at how we can pick ourselves up after rejection. So thanks, everyone. Thank you again for your patience and your love. And I'll see you next week.